It's more like a run to your demise. Welcome to Knowledge Nuggets. Did you know that fleeing from the police is one of the most dangerous things you can do? It's true. Statistics show that a staggering number of people are injured or even killed every year while trying to outrun the law. We're talking car crashes, innocent bystanders getting hurt, and even fatal shootings. It's a recipe for disaster. And today, we're diving deep into why you should never, ever run from the police. We've all been there. You're driving down the road minding your own business when suddenly those flashing red and blue lights appear in your rear-view mirror. Your heart skips a beat. Your palms get sweaty. It's a natural reaction. Police encounters, even for the most law-abiding citizens, can be nerve-wracking. But here's the thing. Running only makes it worse. Way worse. Think about it. Why would anyone risk their life and the lives of others by running? It's simple. Fear. Panic. Maybe you've got something to hide, or maybe you're just terrified of the unknown. Whatever the reason, it's never, ever worth the risk. Now, before we go any further, let's get one thing straight. Knowing your rights is crucial. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. These rights are the bedrock of our justice system, and they exist to protect you. But here's the catch. Exercising your rights doesn't mean being disrespectful or confrontational. It doesn't mean running. In fact, running from the police is often seen as a sign of guilt, even if you've done nothing wrong. It raises red flags and puts everyone on edge. For centuries, running from authority figures, especially law enforcement, has been a risky move. Back in the day, if you were caught by the town constable after a minor offense, the consequences were often swift and brutal. Think public floggings, imprisonment, or worse. Fast forward to today, and while the punishments for minor infractions aren't as barbaric, the dangers of running are just as real. We live in a different world with faster cars, more powerful weapons, and higher stakes. Running from the police in the 21st century is like playing a real-life game of Grand Theft Auto, except the consequences are all too real. Flight or fight? Real stories, real consequences. Let's talk about some real-life examples, because nothing hits home like hearing about the very real consequences of fleeing from the police. Remember the story of Walter Scott? He was an unarmed man who was shot and killed by a police officer in South Carolina back in 2015. The officer claimed he feared for his life because Scott was resisting arrest, but video footage later showed that Scott was actually running away when he was shot. This tragic case sparked outrage and protests across the nation, highlighting the deadly consequences that can occur when fear and adrenaline take over. And then there's the case of Sandra Bland, a young woman who was found dead in a Texas jail cell in 2015 after a routine traffic stop escalated into a heated confrontation with a state trooper. Bland was initially pulled over for failing to signal a lane change, but the situation quickly spiraled out of control. She was arrested and charged with assaulting a public servant, but her family and many others believe that her death was a result of excessive force and racial profiling. These high-profile cases, along with countless others, underscore the importance of remaining calm, compliant, and respectful during any interaction with law enforcement. The chase is on. Now, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the dangers faced by law enforcement officers during pursuits. Imagine this. You're a police officer responding to a call about a stolen vehicle. You spot the car, lights and sirens blaring, but the driver refuses to pull over. What do you do? As a law enforcement officer, you have a duty to protect the public and apprehend criminals. But you also have a responsibility to avoid unnecessary risks. High-speed chases are incredibly dangerous, not just for the officers involved, but also for innocent bystanders who may be caught in the crossfire. Think about it. A car chase through a busy intersection could easily result in a multi-car pileup, injuring or even killing innocent people. I had the chance to sit down with a police officer, Sergeant Johnson, who has seen his fair share of chases and arrests over the years. He told me that the most frustrating thing for officers is when people run for no reason. Most of the time, if you just comply with the officer's instructions, you'll be on your way with a warning or a ticket. But when you run, it creates a whole new set of problems. It makes you look guilty, even if you're not, and it puts everyone's safety at risk. Sergeant Johnson also stressed that officers are trained to de-escalate situations and avoid using force whenever possible. We're not out there looking to hurt anyone. Our goal is to keep the peace and make sure everyone goes home safe, he said. So, what can you do to ensure a safe and respectful interaction with law enforcement? Here are a few tips from Sergeant Johnson. Stay calm and collected. Easier said than done, right? But remember, panicking or becoming confrontational will only escalate the situation. Take a deep breath and try to remain calm and respectful. Keep your hands visible. This is crucial. Officers are trained to look for potential threats, and sudden movements can be misconstrued. Keep your hands on the steering wheel or in plain view at all times. Follow instructions. If an officer asks you to step out of the vehicle, do it. If they ask for your license and registration, provide them. Cooperating with law enforcement is the best way to ensure a smooth and safe encounter. Know your rights, but don't argue. As we discussed earlier, knowing your rights is essential. However, now is not the time to argue legal technicalities. If you believe your rights have been violated, you can address those concerns later through the proper channels. The bottom line is this: running from the police is never the answer. It's dangerous, it's reckless, and it puts everyone at risk, including yourself. No matter how scared or anxious you may feel, remember that complying with law enforcement is always the safest course of action. Think about it this way. Would you rather deal with a minor inconvenience like a speeding ticket or risk your life and the lives of others in a high-speed chase? The choice is clear. I encourage each and every one of you to take some time to research your rights during police encounters. Knowledge is power, and understanding your rights will give you the confidence and peace of mind to handle these situations safely and responsibly. Remember, a little knowledge can go a long way in ensuring your safety and the safety of those around you. Stay safe out there, everyone. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content on staying safe and informed.